And also I use the library just to show you maybe where people got their information from before that time period, because I mean, I got the internet for the first time probably in the year 2000, and I was only a kid, and it was still kind of a normal thing for people to not have internet access. Not sure about the crowd looking for answers on Hekate, but I'm sure people, in my opinion at least, I think, or at least what I'm thinking, is that people use libraries more to obtain information. So where do I get my information on Hekate? Well, this book right here, Goddess Spells for Busy Girls by Jen McConnell, was published in 2014. This is actually one of the first books I ever got, or maybe it is the first book that I ever got on witchcraft. And if you turn to chapter 4, if you turn to chapter 4, you will come to Hekate. Her titles are Queen of the Witches, Triple Lady, Keeper of Darkness, She Who Walks Between Worlds, and Goddess of the Crossroads. Her attributes are Thresholds, Transition, Magic, Death, Triple Goddess, and Crossroads. Her color is black. Animals are dogs, especially hounds. So, this is where I got my first piece of information on Hekate, and I'm not going to read you all of this. I mean, it's not super long, but basically she is, the Queen of the Witches, and it does tell a little bit about her story here in the Greek story of Demeter and Persephone. Hekate is the only deity who is willing to defy Zeus and tell Demeter what happened to Persephone when she went missing. So later, when Hades and Demeter strike an uneasy accord, Hekate accompanies Persephone on her journeys to and from the underworld. So she definitely is a protector, and she will guide you. There's also other possibilities of her story. I find there's just so many different versions. I find that in the reference books that I found at the library, there's no books that are just solely on Hekate, but when we do hear about her, she's only such a minor character in the grand scheme of things. She doesn't really seem to have her own story. So she's very mysterious. Another book I have is the Element Encyclopedia of Secret Signs and Symbols. It is by Adele. I'm not even going to pronounce that name there because I don't want to butcher it. And this book was published in 2008. So in the back here, there is a blurb right here on Hekate. Again, much of the same, Queen of the Underworld, Queen of Witches, Triple Goddess. In this, I did see in the reference book, she did bring prosperity to farmers and sailors. That's another depiction of her, but also, again, associated with ghosts and nightmares. That was something else that I saw in the reference books too. Mistress of sorcery and summoned by incantations. So that is just a very small blurb on her. Oh, Crossroads. There. So that was from 2008. another book that I have called Find Your Goddess, How to Manifest the Power and Wisdom of the Ancient Goddesses in Your Everyday Life by Skye Alexander. We find Hekate, hold on, 81, right here. Again, it kind of just rehashes, or it pretty well says the same things that I've been getting all along from the old reference books. Here is the triple moon goddess right there. And it talks about her, virtues and manifesting her power. This is like probably the first book that I came across that maybe gave some kind of practical guidance on working with her. But as soon as you turn the page, we're on to another goddess. So not a whole lot of information. And this book was 2018. I didn't realize it was that new. I thought I had this one for a longer period of time. This book I got, it's called The Temple of Hekate, Exploring the Goddess Hekate Through Ritual, Meditation, and Divination by Tara Sanchez. I can't remember how long I had this book. However, this was published in 2011. I certainly did not have this book back then. However, this is a very, very useful book if you want to build your relationship with Hekate and you want to work with her. It's a very practical guide. It shows you all kinds of things. One thing that I really liked is the difference between invoking versus evoking. A lot of the times they use these words interchangeably. So yes, invoking versus evoking. Then it goes into the practice. It's going to talk to you about keeping a journal and, different kinds of things that you should take note of. Talks about the altar and a lot more, different things. But my favorite is this meditation right here. It will show you the position. And I'm still not confident on my pronunciation of the words. I'm very sorry. I lack in that. I just don't like to butcher words. But yes, there's different positions just to show you quickly. And each position has a diagram. And it tells you what it's called, what element and color to visualize as you are in this pose, and also just a description of the pose right there. And you hold those poses for a certain period of time before you change into the next. And then you can record your experiences afterwards. And then it shows you things like how to make a robe and just, different gestures, sacred vowels, incense. Hold on here. Talks about her with the elements as well. This is something else that's kind of cool, is divination dice. What you do is you take 3 dice and you roll them, each one by one, and you take note of the number. And you look up the code And there's pages and pages of codes depending on, you know, what combination you rolled. And it will tell you a quote. And it is a message from Hekate. So that's pretty cool. And it also talks about astral planes and things like that. So, and, you know, different offerings and stuff that she may like. So if you really want to, if you're looking for a practical guide to work with Hekate, I recommend this book. And I believe she may have wrote other books on Hekate. However, I don't really have my collection built up yet, because the only other book that I have on Hekate is this one that I gotten on the last full moon. This is called Keeping Her Keys, An Introduction to Hecate's Modern Witchcraft by Cyndi Brannen. Actually, she is from my home province. I remember finding this out and I was so excited. So this book just came out this year. And it's not just a book. This is, if you want to build your relationship with Hekate, this book is the way to go. It's, like I said, 13 moon cycles long. And I wrote all the dates that I am going to, hold on here. All the dates here that I'm going to be working on this course. I am very excited. And there's lots of different exercises, journaling to do. You know, it's also a very practical guide. It gets you working. So I am so grateful for that. I don't know if in the future I foresee myself buying any more books on Hekate for now, because I just want to focus on the two that I have and really, you know, dive deep into the practice. One thing that I do notice is that a lot of times the same information comes up over and over again. So I will definitely buy more books, but I just want to get the most out of the books that I have for now on Hekate. And then when the time is right, I will collect more books on her. And I look forward to that. Recently, I would say a couple weeks ago, I went to see a psychic or a tarot card reader. And I went to her because I needed to connect with somebody who could read the cards. Sometimes you need that person to read for you and seek their guidance and wisdom and their knowledge. So I found her on Kijiji, and for my American friends, it's the equivalent of Craigslist. And I went to her apartment. Very nice lady. So good at what she does. She's fantastic. And she basically saw Hekate. She said she could see things in her head, and she did see this woman with long black hair wearing a cloak, and she described basically the image that I have in my head of Hekate. And she's like, she said, "You're kind of at a crossroads right now." And I was like, that's it. Hekate is trying to reach me. Now, this woman does not practice witchcraft, and she has no understanding of, you know, the goddesses. And she actually got me to write down a whole bunch of stuff for her through our conversation, because there's just so many things that I was making reference to as she was telling me what she saw on the cards. And she just never heard of Hekate before. or really knew of anything to do with witchcraft. So that was kind of cool that someone who, you know, maybe isn't on the inside of things was able to see this. And I definitely am at a crossroads in my life right now. However, that is definitely more private to me, and maybe in the future I will open up about my life direction. So that's what's going on in my life right now, and I'm in a very exciting place, and I love the new moon. I'm enjoying my new moon tea. It's absolutely fabulous. I will leave the recipe in the description below. And I am going to start my second moon phase with this book tonight. So I really look forward to that. It's so strange. I'm such a shy and aloof person in real life, but I can talk in front of a camera. I could talk to you for hours like this. However, it would make for a very long video, and I don't want to ramble. So anyways, I'm definitely getting more comfortable with my channel and talking to you. It also helps that I get a chance to talk about something that interests me. So that is all that I really have to say about Hekate for now. I will leave the book titles in the description below, so if you wanted to purchase them yourself or just look into them a little bit more at your library or wherever, you can do that. Thank you for joining me for my pre-new moon ritual, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.